Thank you so much, Christian. It is time to get into Vainglory 5V5. My name is Munchables. I'll be hosting this segment for you. And it was very important for us that we didn't just have our standard analyst desk. We wanted to have super evil devs, not only here on the analyst desk, but also on the caster desk once we get into the games. So it's my pleasure to introduce my analysts for this show as well. It's going to be Arakizaro, it's going to be Sweet J as always, and we will be joined by very special guest, Playoff Beard on the desk. This is a big moment, Playoff Beard. This has been a long time coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. This is easily the biggest moment in Vainglory history since launch. I cannot wait to get on the rise.
Absolutely, and Sweet J and Arakizaro, this has been a long time coming for you guys as well. Long time players of the game.
Oh my God, I got so much goosebumps watching that announcement. And I've been playing this game since the beginning, so I'm so excited to get in and show you guys more of it.
Exactly. Forget about us as analysts. As players, my excitement cannot be described by words, Munchables. I really cannot wait.
I'm so excited to show you guys what we have in store later today. And in fact, let me run you through what we do have in store. What 5v5 goodies are going to be coming your way. Now, later on, we're going to be heading into a professional game, or a couple of professional games. We're going to be having a 5v5 King of the Hill. It'll be starting off, it'll be a regional King of the Hill. In fact, we've got Southeast Asia, we've got East Asia, and we have North America all taking part. We'll be starting off with Renegades from Southeast Asia, going up against Rox Armada, along with Detonation Gaming from East Asia. And then the winner of that game will later on go up against Team Solo Mid with a very special addition to their roster as well. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But before we jump into the professional games, we wanted to honor the PBE testers that have been playing all of this time. We're going to be jumping into a PBE All-Stars match. Playoff Beard, do you want to explain a little bit more about the PBE All-Stars match?
Yeah, you know, obviously we have all these professional players here. We're going to be playing, you know, in this International King of the Hill with all the professional players. But we did feel like it was really important to honor the PBE because these players, they've been grinding away day and night, literally for months, to help us get to this moment, to help us unveil 5v5 in front of all of you here in Singapore, letting us come full circle to where it all began, and everyone at home. So we're really grateful. We wanted to do one online match for them because they're all, you know, scattered all over the place. So we're going to do one online match, and then we have all the in-person, live on the stage matches. Renegades will be in the competitive debut of 5v5.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to get on into the match and show you guys what 5v5 is going to be like, what you can expect as golden ticket holders once you get on into the game for yourselves. Sweet J and Arakizaro, I want to ask you guys, this has been a long time coming for you. What are you most excited for as we head into 5v5?
I mean, when I started playing Vainglory 3 years ago, the reason why I stuck around is because the game looks absolutely beautiful in-game. It's just, it feels like a real game, not a mobile game. And until this day, Vainglory is the only mobile game that I actually play. 5v5 looks like nothing less. The river, absolutely stunning. The structures, it's all so beautiful.
Yeah, and you add to that strategic depth, but as Christian mentioned, the performance, 3 million polygons, up to 120 FPS, that results in amazing, uncompromising experience. And you gotta feel it, you gotta play it, you gotta know what it's like, and I'm so excited to show you guys.
Yeah, and as Christian said, our journey was only half done with 3v3. We honestly had to wait for the technology to catch up. We had to wait for devices to come out that could handle 120 frames per second, could handle the graphics, could handle everything that we can do with our console-grade Evil engine. So that moment's come. The time is now. We can now release 5v5 the way we always wanted to.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about time that we stop chatting on the desk. You're sick of our chin wagging. We want to see some 5v5. It is my honor to pass it up to our casters. And on the desk, we're going to have Zikan, we're going to have Excoundrel, and let me throw it over to Humanist.
Woo! Thank you very much, Munchables, and all of the hard work that SCMC has done to provide this 5v5 experience. You know, I'm just going to yell about a bunch of stuff, but we have a couple of 5v5 scholars here. Excoundrel, Zekan, Maybe, Scoundrel, you can start. Let us know what's going to happen here.
I mean, it's going to be crazy. Like Playoff Bid said, this is homage to all the PBE testers. They're playing an online match. This is them to showcase all of that testing they've done. We've got Zekan, one of the lead designers on 5v5, ready to break down everything that you can see on the new map and all of the new mechanics and all of the new strategies. I am so unbelievably excited.
I am super excited. All our PBE players helping us out so much, developing this map to this point. All of you players out there who have been playing 3v3 for so long, I am really excited to get you guys onto Sovereign's Rise.
I mean, excited barely just scratches the surface of what I'm feeling right now. I mean, we've had a moment to actually test this game out ourselves. These PBE players have put in so much work to give us this experience. And I think we're actually pretty close. We're ready to actually get in this game here, right now. So it's just a moment before we actually will be loading in. Oh, yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, heroes are on the rise.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this is finally happening. I've been waiting for this moment for such a long time. We've been working on 5v5 for such a long time. And for now, you can see for the first time, Sovereign's Rise.
Well, you can see it now. Just take in the beauty of Sovereign's Rise.
They didn't have enough of us right there.
Taking the beauty of the graphics, taking the beauty of the entire map. It has been such a long amount of work, huge amount of investment from SEMC to create this kind of experience. And right now you can see this is the new meta opening up. We've got double jungle, we've got double mid lane. There is everything going on here. The meta is so diverse already.
How delicious is this map right here? I mean, my eyes can barely handle what I'm actually seeing now. Okay, we have players fanned out all across the map. You talked about all of the different ways that we can approach this game. It looks like these guys have kind of figured out what they want to do here in the early game.
Yeah, one of the great things about Sovereign's Rise is that the amount of depth, the amount of strategies that you can start, even just opening up the game, are limitless. Players have so many more options in these opening minutes, and even later into the game, you'll see these teams, they'll be doing some crazy things that you'll never see on the Halcyon Fold.
Gary getting lit up early on, and your first blood of 5v5 comes through. What a play. What a hero.
I think he was going for an early invade because jungle invades are really, really important now. There are so many big objectives that you can take away from your opposing jungler, Zekan.
Yeah, one of the great things is right now you see Eco and Sean against Sparkling Rain and Elements in the mid lane, duo mid lane. This is something that you see occasionally on the Halcyon Fold. But the great thing about it is because the river increases your moves, you always have another engage potentially, but no.
Yeah. Because you can have two captains in the mid lane, because you can have two anything in the mid lane, that river allows you to run to both of those side lanes, to make ganks, to make plays, to roam across the map, be more diverse with your strategy, be more diverse with your tactics. And that is something that the Sovereign's Rise opens up.
Little acro bounce starting off, but a 3v1 situation. Have you overstepped yourself? Yes, you have. Ozo's down. Looks like we're going to be tied up 1-1, but Sparkling Rain caught up. Ordain, suppressing fire comes in from the lane. He can hang out back there. Healing flash. Sparkling Rain, can he get back? But you don't want to go down right here. Gary flexing his might here on this Grace coming through. Benediction in. Saw. Rody run back, bud. He'll get a Vanguard and gets out of that one.
Eco going 1v1 with Elements right now.
It's all across the map. You got more players. There's going to be more deaths. Elements, one attack. You can't run away. Eco's got him.
Goodness me, Eco in the mid lane on this Celeste. Taking Celeste, obviously in the mid lane, shorter lane. But the importance is that it's a little bit more risky now laning. There's so many different ways that junglers can impact the game. You can gank from the top, you can gank from the side. Hell, you could even gank behind turrets if you really wanted to. It's just not something that you get to see in 3v3. Junglers have that many more options available to them, and it really opens up and exemplifies some of the skills that Vainglory has on its heroes. Imagine playing Glaive, coming into this mid lane with 4, 5, 6 different ways to gank the lane. And so many options and so many decisions that you have to make as a player. That tactical diversity that SEMC wanted to create, it's true, it's here. And it really has an impact.
Copycat on to Gary. Gary's going to pop that healing flask. He should be able to get away. Now, Zekan, I know you're one of the guys that talked early on about proxy farming in 3 versus 3. We actually saw Gary going behind the turret here, doing a little bit of work. As far as the Scoundrel talked about, ganking lanes, you can come from any angle, but there's a lot more things you can do like that proxy farming.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different strategies you can go with. Proxy farming, while still effective on 5v5, it is a little bit risky. There are more enemies that can collapse onto you, and even though you might be able to draw some enemies, you have to make sure your teammates are across the map taking advantages elsewhere.
And speaking of those minion waves, the new captain minion inclusion allows you to properly control your minion waves. In 3v3, there was limited ways that you can control the minion wave. You could freeze, you could push that minion wave, but realistically, you know, there really wasn't that much level of control. In 5v5, you can get a slow push going. You can set up for a split push. You can have two lanes pushing at the same time where you siege another lane. The depth of minion wave control in 5v5 is unparalleled.
Copycat finds one, goes in for Neon Fire. He's going to respect the turret, but a suppressing fire comes in from downtown. A lot of damage coming out here. It looks like, oh, river shops are going to be spawning in just a moment. Now, this is another important strategical point across the map that's going to be on both sides. Zekin, can you break that one down for us?
Yeah, absolutely. River shops spawn both the top and the bottom river on the sides across from the boss pits. And one of the great things about them is because they spawn at 5 minutes, the early laning phase is undiluted. If you are able to push your enemies out of lane, they still have to recall. They still have to go back to purchase to heal up. But now, with the river shops spawned, you can go shop in a river and have a much better time.
Those river shops opening up allow you to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of where you want to purchase those items. There we go.
Trogdor looking for Jazz here. Jazz is going to find the stun. Trogdor knocks him back. These guys having some fun in the lane there. I mean, we talk about all the rotations you can have, but I see a lot of these scout camps across the map. I mean, it looks like these guys have a pretty good idea exactly of how they want to control the map using these.
Yeah, scout cams, the new addition in terms of vision control. It allows you to place a permanent vision item that can get killed off by your enemies, but it allows you to control portions of the map in a way that you wouldn't have been able to in 3v3. Everybody can place them. No more we need vision pings for your captain. Everybody has control of the vision in 5v5. Captains can upgrade, captains can get more, but everybody is responsible for their own vision in some way, shape, or form. So it's no longer captains we need vision, it's team we need vision.
I would like that as a ping. That would be a pretty nice one.
Team, we need vision.
Team we need vision. That needs to be the first team that takes its way onto
Hey, NA has a team vision. They might do pretty well here. Now, I'm looking at the builds across the board. We got a CP Saw coming in, a weapon also? That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Now, Bang Ring, Sean M, you've overstepped yourself. He will go down.
He got sawed by a scout cam. He had no idea. He just didn't take it out. Ozu had perfect vision.
And you feel like you're safe here, right? Like,
exactly.
This is his turret side. This is his side of the river.
And if that was a scout trap, that play would have never have happened because the scout trap would have got procced. Ozu had complete vision because of the scout cam that's in the brush.
Absolutely, and one of the things about this match right now is with scout cams, the amount of vision you can control is incredibly important as you have another fight breaking out.
Run to Eco. Can he run from this? Oh, yeah, he'll be just fine. Had his flask there, so he's right back into the lane. Just so much action.
Yeah, as you're speaking about more action, there is more action.
Yeah, Gary, anytime you rotate through this jungle, you are in danger. Core Collapse, not going to land exactly how they would have wanted it, but Gary's going to be okay on this Grace.
Imagine hitting 5-man core collapses. How ridiculous would that be?
It will happen. It will happen. Just, I want to, yeah, maybe like the Finn pull into that core collapse right there. Now, Ordain's down. Bounces start to begin here. On to Sean. Big burst damage coming through. The Fearsome Shade on to 3. Sean wants some, but has he overstepped himself? Neon Fire finally rotating down from the top lane. Kind of pokes onto his opponent's area. He will force them off and then quickly runs down the river, giving him that move speed up towards his top lane. Now another Bang Ring finally coming up. Eco didn't respect his opponents and will go down. It's going to be 5-3 here early on.
Yeah, gotta put down the scout cams, right?
Exactly, those scout cams giving you the opportunity to seek vision out. And something that I want to touch on that Captain Nito touched on in his video is this edition of Fog of War, the first true Fog of War to come to a mobile MOBA. What it is you technically have it in 3v3, but it is a true visual representation of what you can see on the map. The Fog of War clearly defines what you can and can't see, where your vision boundaries are, and obviously the scout cams add to that as well.
Absolutely, this is so incredibly important because it means that it is so much easier and so much more intuitive to control vision for your team and against your enemies. Being able to see exactly what you know exactly where enemies are rotating, it makes it so much better.
So Zekin, it is past 7 minutes 30. Blackclaw has made his way onto the Sovereign's Rise. I think you need to, after this, a little bit of action, Humanist.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to go down. Oh, a nice little roadie run, and that's the CP Saw doing work. Bang Ring will knock the Batiste back. Cross the map! Who is this guy?
And cross-map snipe from Celeste, and believe it or not, they've had their range increase so they can get across the entire Sovereign's Rise.
Sean stunned up by the gauntlet, but nothing to follow. That was a couple big ultimates actually used out there. He's going to try to port. Elements has come down. Look for the buckshot. He throws it. He's got him.
And he's dropped the buff. He dropped that crystal buff that we were talking about, Zekin. How does that work with these new crystal jungle monsters you can get the buff from? People drop it when they die, and you can steal it off them, right?
Absolutely. But first, you have Eco getting caught out, but he'll be just fine.
Eco, good guy. He's going to get out of this one, Zeke, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get out and give you a moment to explain this.
All right, we're going to assume he's going to make it out of here. But the new Crystal Treant, the new Weapon Treant, the buffs they grant you when you die, they do drop on the ground. So that might seem like a bad thing, but your allies can pick it up. Your enemies can pick it up. If you're on the back foot, you can kill the enemy with that buff, you can take it for yourself.
And they grant you significant boosts to your power, if you're weapon power or crystal power, meaning obviously huge impact if you manage to get them in a fight. Neon seems to have got the... How is this happening? How is a Saw getting outpushed? I guess he's CP, but he's going to get caught out by Arden coming through.
It's all right. Saw defend turret at this point. Saw will be looking for some kills. We see these captain minions coming through. Now, you talked about earlier how this can add to actual lane control. Hellfire Brew, not a big deal. I mean, what's one way that you might play that out, Zekan?
So the best way to play this out is, well, as Jasiel gets knocked down a little bit by
Trogdor.
Will he make it out?
You know he wants him. Doesn't have the energy here for the afterburn. Moves in, has the stun, but Sean is there. A little bit of a teamwork, and they find the kill.
All right, let's talk about Captain Minions just a little more. If you have a minion wave meet in the center of the lane, and you take out the enemy Captain Minion, just leave it there for a bit. After a little bit, like a minute or so, you'll have 2-3 waves built up, and just leave it there. It'll take the enemy turret for you if no one comes to contest it.
Exactly, and the difference to 3v3, you can truly stack minion waves. You can truly employ minions in your favor to get those pushes onto lanes and take turrets by themselves. It doesn't quite happen that smoothly and that regularly in 3v3, but you can really stack them using that captain minion tactic.
Absolutely, taking advantage of the multiple lanes on the map is so incredibly important. Being able to force your opponents to go defend against a minion wave means you have 5 people on the field while they only have 4.
Exactly, and that brings in those whole different styles of tactics and elements. He manages to get out there. He has got Solar Storm available, Eco.
You know he's going to throw it. Oh, just clips him on the edge of that one. Should be able to get out. Gary with the boost. Pop down.
Gary with the plays as Eco
But
going down
Eco
to
caught
Copycat.
out. You got to respect this Ozone. Ozone's gone breaking point here as well, so that's going to be stacking up through these fights. Big rain back. Gary, pretty tanky. It feels like he should get out of this with the gauntlet down. He's going to be okay. Self-defined intervention, little 3-ring circus. Holy Nova will clip him. A roadie run in. But he's not low on health, not a big deal. Suppressing fire, though, significant damage. Oh, he's boosted up. Exceptions would approve of that one.
Oh, Gary's going in 1 versus 3 right now. The action all over the shop as you get a 3-man push into the mid lane whilst the other lanes are being tended to. Neon coming down.
Neon's there. Hellfire Brew, he's going to move in with the boots, turn around, but the 3-ring circus plus that roadie run. Suppressing fire comes down. Bounce, baby, bounce. Core Collapse is going to go ahead and stun this off. They've lost 2. It's only 3 on the map over here for Team Sovereign at this point. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of aggression here into this mid lane. And I actually wonder if they're setting up for anything. Like, we do have Blacklaw actually out on the map. When will one of these teams get in there and try to take this objective? I mean, this is a lot of fighting right now.
Yeah, it looked like potentially you were looking for a 4-man, 5-man group up. Kestrel's kind of stuck split pushing in the side lane here, but it definitely looks like the red team just looking to group up around this Blacklaw. Again, it is something that you want to gain vision control of. It's a big objective that you'll fight over. You imagine seeing 5v5 Vainglory fights around these huge objectives while Blacklaw is breathing fire on all of the teams. It's just unimaginable how epic that can look.
Yeah, but oh, never mind. Go for it.
You got it, Zekan. I think they're just a little bit of poke right now, actually.
All right. So one of the great things about 5v5 is also that because there are so many diverse strengths, that, oh, here it is, go for it.
You got it. Solar Storm tears on through. Team Rise looks like they're in a bad place. Neon Fire, he's out for blood, and this guy doesn't matter. PBE, he wants some kills. They are able to get one Jazz down. Now they're going to move in. Sparkly Rain stunned up, shot down. Suddenly, Team Sovereign is in a great place.
You thought setting up 3-man CC combos was good. Imagine setting up 5-man CC combos.
That's not right.
That's not right. But with more people on the map, more people can go for Crucibles. Suddenly those echo skills, there are more ways to get around it. Lots of different build diversity can come through here as the
Hellfire Brew. That's going to chase you all the way home, buddy. That one just burns them all the way down.
Hell yeah. I like it when a Saw goes down.
It's the true Bonanza, a buckshot. Copycat trying to get a little bit of the healing. He's stacked up on the breaking point, but will go down. Gary doing a lot of damage here. And now has Gary actually, he's leveled up his scout cams here a little bit?
Absolutely. So that actually gives him a few more scout times to place down, lowers the cooldown, and he's able to place them for longer, and they'll be a little bit more durable. But one of the great things is, I feel like I don't even have time to talk. There's just action all over the map.
There's so much fighting. Jazz gets back with a little bit of an active camo usage there. Trogdor really out for blood.
Yeah, and this is Jasil. He's playing a sort of split push Kestrel here, and that's paying homage to the kind of different diversity of tactics that you can bring to 5v5. You could see true split push compositions.
Oh,
as
he's going to
Trogdor.
miss on that ultimate. Will find that stun knockback, but he's gone too far. Ace's high connects, but a divine intervention. Gary rotated over. This is exactly what they need to do, and it looks like these guys making some pretty nice rotations through this map, using that river to their advantage. Bangarang knocks Trogdor back, but the afterburn allows them to get into a defensive position. Peel that Ozo off, and they're out of there.
Ghostwing should be coming onto the map soon as well. A huge team fight buff that a team could choose to take. We haven't even seen a Black Claw take yet because there has been so much action. Neon going in into Soldier.
Yeah, you're done. There's no way you get out of that one.
Again, I like it when Saw dies. I'm an anti-Saw player.
Wow. Well, to be fair, Soldier's going like Crystal Saw, not quite as effective at pushing more, but for those team fights, he's sitting at range, using that suppressing fire. Saw, maybe Crystal Saw might be good in 3v3 on the Halcyon Fold. But in 5v5, when he has teammates to protect him, he is a menace.
Yeah, you've got these true hyper carry compositions that you can pull out. Eco being one of those on this Celeste. And again, there's so many different types of compositions. Split pushing, team fight, siege, hyper carry, early game, late game, heavy jungling
Neon
bait.
from the side, almost take elements down. He gets peeled off by Copycat. Copycat, you're going to be in a bad place, but they're diving under the turret right here. There's some shade, has split this fight apart. Copycat's in deep, but look at the lifesteal on this Ozo, plus the breaking point stacking up, a little acro bounce to keep it in position. Gary, he is that tanky support on the front line, will be able to get out of here for his team. It's only one player that's gone down thus far.
Yeah, and you were saying those 5-man CC chains, they're possible, but that being said, you have 4 teammates backing you up.
Yeah, and again, it's so difficult to follow the action. Sparkling going in onto this turret, taking huge amounts of damage.
They want the turret, but the fearsome shade will peel them out. The fountain's used, keeping him alive just for a second. Copycat, you got to get back. He will not be able to do so. Too much damage output, and look at the crit coming through here. It's actually nice to see a Ringo.
Hey, Ringo OP, bro.
Out on the map right now. Now, Sovereign's Rise is a thing of beauty at this point.
And going to push on to this mid lane turret. Right now, the blue side have been making good effective rotations around the map. Again, this is something that you can achieve in 5v5. There are true rotations. We talk about rotations in 3v3, but realistically, they're just from jungle to lane. Now you have rotations around objectives. Now you have rotations between lanes. You can group up and take turrets as a unit and look to exploit every single lane as a win condition.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the great things is, watch Team Sovereign. They're running around the river. It might seem like they're not doing much, but they're dropping those scout times, getting that deep vision, making sure that when they want the objective, when they want Ghostwing, they can go take it.
Both these teams very apprehensive right now. No one willing to commit because of kind of the onslaught that can ensue. That's a scout cam into Black Claw for the red side. They're going to keep tracks of that objective as Sparkling locked up.
A lot of strategical vision plays down. Sparkling Rain will use his boots to get back there. It's a defensive gauntlet down. Neon Fire, he's in deep. Ringo, a lot of damage, but a squishy hero. He's peeled off. The Ardent stays alive. Drops back in with the Vanguard. The Solar Storm tears on through. Sparkling Ray still alive, but Acro Bounce comes in. The core collapse will peel Copycat off. Big benediction in. Gary just making the plays here on this Graze. What an incredible hero. They're going to lose 2. Now Rise on the run. They can't get away from the Celeste, who has scaled up 17 minutes in here. They're going to be able to take this gold camp on the back. Also, Ego, he's not afraid to be throwing these abilities into the base at this point. Jazz, big glimmer shots coming through. Fearsome Shade off the mark. Jazz moves forward, finds one. Gary right back in. Will he be able to get stunned up? They turn around. Gary locked down at this point. Doesn't have healing. Double kill comes through for Jazz Hill. Now, looks like it's a turret take at minimum here.
Yeah, but that was a distraction. 2 members of this 5-man team distracting in the front line while the rest of them focused a turret. Again, the ways you can split these team fights up. I don't know how you're following the action, Humanist. This is mental. That is going to be a one-shot, one kill.
I blacked out. I don't know what happened.
I think that was a one-shot, one kill to check Black Claw. I think they used that to check Black Claw to make sure that it wasn't getting taken.
So smart. Jazz! Stunned up! You're so sneaky! Oh, Eco, you know Eco was leading that engage right there. Now, they found one. How many kills do you actually have to get before you go in for one of these big objectives? Buckshot, Trogdor, Afterburn, caught them on the edge. Reflex, but he's stunned up anyway. Elements, he's got him.
I think kills is a word that we could use to describe very, very different games. It really depends on your control of the game. If you push those lanes in, you set slow pushes up that allow the enemy to have to go and deal with them in the side lanes. Like Zekant said, you can commit to an objective like that as Soldier.
Yeah, Soldier, he's going to be caught out there. Maybe felt like he could get a little bit more done. Now, the scout cams are placed here. You can see that Sovereign scout cam will be seen out by Rise, vice versa as well. So these guys, they need to get in there and actually clear those out as this vision starts going down.
That's a big push in the mid lane here for the blue side. Both Sean and Eco moving, and Gary, the baller.
Gary gets in there, calculated, throws the fountain. He will go down, but they get pretty good chip damage onto this turret.
Yeah, they do. Again, you know, when you take down an armory, it's really impactful, Zeke, and you manage to, I think you weaken your enemy minions so you can get a slow push in that lane consistently, right?
Absolutely. The way it works is you actually strengthen your ally minions, you weaken the enemy minions, and it also weakens the Vein Crystal abilities.
I think the Vein Crystal, if you take one of the armories, loses its targeted missile ability. It only has that stun ability left, from what I remember.
It actually, well, Trogdor going in for the steal, not quite getting it. Elements making it out with that crystal buff.
Just whiffing on that ace aside, but not a big deal.
Yeah, the way it works is actually the empowered Halcyon missiles become, instead of 3, they become 2, and they don't want to slow.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh my goodness, the CP Saw doing work. The one shot's going to come out, a little bit of damage, but it's negligible. Fountains out, suddenly Team Rise are in fighting shape with the gauntlet down. They move forward here, flexing their might in a 5 versus 4 situation. Neon Fire's gonna stutter step, trying to move back, stack up that breaking point. Copycat's in, trying to show him he is the boss, he is the Ozo, but split apart from his team. He's taking out 1,100 damage on that Saw. Feels pretty good, man. Turns around, drops the suppressing fire. Rise are going to be able to get out of it. They just lose the Ozo.
Copycat, a little bit overextended there, but he did set his team up for a really big push. Gary going in. He has got no fear on this Grace.
And I feel like this should just be like a weapon Grace at this point. He's just doing so much work. Big Fearsome Shade actually tearing on through, and Team Rise got to be pretty careful.
I think he heard you. He's picked up a 6 sins. Gary looking to go aggressive.
Very smart, Gary. I like it a lot.
Very long range composition coming out from the red side. They've got CP Saw, they've got CP Gwen. The only person that really dives in is this Ozo, because Jassiel obviously pretty much playing a Glimmer Shot focused build, but with the addition of Bone Saw. So they're playing a long range poke style composition.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I want to see is, I want to see one of these teams take control of one of these objectives, get that vision control down. Sovereign, they've been doing a pretty good job of it. Rise has not been contesting it so much, but Sovereign really needs to make a move.
Fearsome Shade trying to peel off here. You guys are pretty low. Looks like Sean's caught out. He gets the Divine Intervention. Ooh. He will stay alive. Eventually taken down. Huge burst damage potential. Gary stunned up. 3 ring on through. And that's 2 kills. Suddenly it feels like there are a lot of things to take.
Push, boys.
Wow. So they have to go ahead and port back here. That turret's down. Trogdor is going to get out of this situation. This opens up a whole lot across the map.
It makes it look like the blue side lost a lot in that team fight, but again, this is the diversity of 5v5. You can be that monster in the side lane, pushing those turrets by yourself. Imagine in solo queue, your teammates all over the map, but you're the guy taking the turrets in the side lane that needs answering. That's what it opens up. Suddenly, individual plays can be that much more impactful too. Here's the Blackclaw take.
All right, this is a huge advantage if they can capture this objective. But it feels like it's going to be contested. I mean, you see on the mini-map here, Solar Storm comes on through, but it's kind of off the mark. Maybe thinking that's where they peeled him back. Blackclaw has been unleashed, and potential fight will come out here. Trogdor, he started the engage. They need to stay alive. They can't defend this push if they lose heroes at this point. Bing Ring comes in, blocked off. It will be Sean to go down first. Now, Aqua Bounce comes on through. Trogdor tries to peel, but he goes down as well. They've lost 2. And suddenly things are looking really good for Rise at this point. They come on in, Copycat's there. Ozo doing work, this weapon Ozo, a thing of beauty. But look at Blackclaw burning down the mid lane here. A huge execute from Saw. Drops the suppressing fire. Gary goes in, but has he bit off more than he can chew? It sure does look like it. He will go down. And a bit of a disaster here for Team Sovereign.
Wow, they played that fight so well. Sparkling Rain managed to separate out the entire 5 members, trap those in there, and again, they got heavy zone control with that Saw, with that Gwen. The huge damage going down onto this armory.
They're onto the armory. The armory has been taken down. If they can get out of here without losing any heroes, it would be huge. Fearsome Shade, able to find one, throws them into the wall. CP Saw, yeah, he's going to go down. Neon Fire making the plays. Looks like Neon wants to chase, but they've still got to deal with this Blackclaw.
Yeah, he's going on the Vein Crystal. Eventually, it should be able to target him down. I think he takes increased damage from the Vein Crystal when those Halcyon Missiles target him, but they should be able to get him down before that. That is the first armory of the game going down. Mid lane has become much more impactful. There's a lot more strength coming through for the minions in that mid lane on the blue side.
Absolutely, and one of the things you saw right there was the team Rise, they were able to take down Blackclaw and push with it. Pushing with it is very effective. However, you still have other options. If you want to leave it in the mid lane and take a side lane, go for it. And this is fantastic for teams. Oh, as you see, Ghostwing is being started.
Yeah, Soar's not quite up yet. Ghostwing is going to get started. This is a quick take of an objective by the blue squad. This will give them a team-wide buff that will make them excel in team fights, and they still have open lanes that they can look to push. That top lane has just the armory standing between them and the Vein Crystal. This is going to be unanswered. The vision just isn't there.
Now, as we look at this, this is a huge take, and it's a defensive buff that you're receiving, but do you see this as more defensive or an offensive tool?
I think it can be a bit of both. It allows you to recuperate outside of team fights, but also allows you to go into team fights with a little bit of extra strength. And
absolutely. The way this buff works is that while you're out of combat, you get extra health regeneration, you get extra energy recharge, and you get this regenerating barrier, which is pretty sweet.
This is pretty interesting movements coming through here. As they move up as 5 into this top lane. You can almost sense some fear here. Von C would not approve of these rotations. You can almost smell the fear on these players right now as Rise so close to maybe closing this game out. Now, they move in, a huge clash. Look for the stuns into this gauntlet. They're going to turn it around. We'll lose one as Jas drops down. Trogdor dropping low, gets the divine intervention. They have to kite backwards. You have huge burst potential, but you're so squishy. They move in. This is Elements back. Gary zoning them out. Copycat goes down on the front side. Sovereign have flipped this one around while their base is in shambles. They have taken this fight. They move in. Fearsome Shade takes down Soldier. They don't lose anybody. What an epic fight coming out of these guys.
And that is the danger of overextension. Team Rise, they went a little bit too far with that Blackclaw push. They didn't get the vision that they needed for Sovereign. And Sovereign, they went for that Ghostwing and were immediately able to turn the game around.
And they have that big team fight buff that Ghostwing provides. That's
this is a long respawn. Have these guys ended this game right here, right now?
Right here, right now, Humanist.
Oh my goodness, it looked like this was going the other way. They defend on a sliver of health. They turn it around. The respawns are too late, and they've done it. They've won the first game of 5v5. Vainglory. That was a lot of fun.
I barely knew what was going on, but I can darn hell tell you I enjoyed myself. I mean, just the depth of strategy that you can achieve in 5v5 over 3v3 is just incredible. 3v3 is a great game mode. It has built this foundation for Vainglory, but 5v5 has taken it to another level.
Absolutely. You saw the split push. You saw a single Glaive saving his team from destruction. It could have been terrible for them. They could have lost the objectives. They could have not gotten any turrets, but Glaive, he forced the enemy team to recall, and it was fantastic for them.
It really was. I mean, we saw huge plays coming out of the Grace. We saw huge plays coming out of Trogdor on that Glaive there, peeling, getting the heals. These guys, there was a lot of faith in each other as a team overall.
And you just saw how impactful those game-ending buffs are. That's the point of these huge neutral objectives. They are supposed to be game-ending. We barely had time to talk about the jungle because how much action was packed into that game. But Ghostwing, you take it, it gives you the opportunity to straight up end the game.
All right, there was a lot of action. We need to catch our breath over here. But to break that one down just a little bit, get us set up and move us forward, we'll throw it over to Munchables at the desk.
Thank you very much, Humanist. There is a lot to break down there. I will try my best, but this is the first ever Vainglory 5v5 that I've had the honor to break on down. I am, of course, joined once again by Playoff Beard, Suijay, and Iraqi Zorro. Guys, what a game. For the first game of 5v5 to be that explosive, what an absolute treat.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was quite a bloodbath. And to think, you know, this was just the PBE players. This was, you know, no offense, but this was maybe like what you might encounter in rank queue. We still have the pros yet to come, and I'm so excited to see the level of play that they're going to bring onto the Rise.
I mean, you talk about it being explosive. That's what I loved about the early game, is that it was action-packed. Everywhere on the map, there was action, whether it's in the bottom lane, top lane, and that's what I love about Vainglory. I was a little worried because other 5v5 MOBAs, they're a lot slower. Vainglory, though, keeping its identity and it's remaining action-packed.
Yeah, and it tells such a quick, condensed story. You have a solid laning phase in the beginning, but it's not as long as other games, right? And it just builds up into this amazing action. The beauty, the experience, the fog of war, too. You can see when you go into another enemy's jungle, you can feel how dangerous that can be because you have no vision, and you have to set scout camp. There's so much strategic depth. It makes the game so much more fun.
Honestly, it was an absolute pleasure to watch. So much was going on across the map. And honestly, it wasn't just the early game that was a bloodbath. Later on in the game, we saw some intense team fights as well. And you saw that 5v5 team fighting is significantly different to what you can expect in 3 versus 3. Now, we have a very special treat for you here today. We have on the stage right now, Super Evil Megacorp's art director, Chainsaw, standing by. So I'm going to pass it over to Dan Gaskin.
Hi, I'm really honored to be here. The first time we came here to do a community outreach, there was only 6